His leading public health body, the Robert Koch Institute, reported another 266 deaths yesterday, bringing the total number there to 2,373, with signs over the last week of a curb in new infections. There is a growing debate in Germany about whether the tougher restrictions should be relaxed. Elsewhere in Europe, Carly Drinkwater used to live in York and worked here for a while at BBC Radio York. She's now living and working in Bologna and has been in lockdown for over a month now. It is a tougher version than our lockdown. Let's have a chat now with Carly. Hello.
Good morning, Anna.
It's lovely to hear your voice. I'm just so sorry that it's in such grim circumstances. What restrictions do you have to endure there, Carly, on a daily basis in Bologna?
We have extremely tough restrictions here, and it's been going on for a long time. We are coming to the end of week 5 now, and we're not allowed outside even for exercise, not even a simple walk, maybe a kilometre from your home, absolutely nothing. So we are finding this extremely tough by this point. We've gone through the whole gamut of emotions, almost like the stages of grief, because as every other country is experiencing, you're mourning a life that you did have, but now we've actually been in this situation for that long and not being able to go outside at all, save for the supermarket, because of course you need to buy food once a week. We've reached this state of acceptance now, this really strange, surreal, dystopian new normal, where we're completely stuck inside and we can't really do anything other than work from home if you're still lucky to be able to work from home, or any other indoor activity. And in Italy, there are a lot of people, including ourselves, who live in apartments. So there's a huge amount of inequality as we go through this, because some people will manage a lot better than people in Italy do. If you can imagine just rattling around in an apartment and most people with only a balcony, that effect on you is huge compared to someone who maybe has a large space to live in a big garden.
How's your mental health, Carly? Because, just to be able to not really walk around, where you live, you can only go out for shopping once a week. You're cooped up, for, want of a better word, with, the person that you live with. I mean, it can drive you a bit mad, can't it?
Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah, we have lost the plot. It's a real test of your emotional, mental, and also physical strength, because it all links in together. You really realise how much the mind and body is connected, because if you can go out for a walk, obviously that's good for your physical health, but it also clears your mind. And we're never getting that respite. It's something that other countries who aren't in this level of lockdown cannot imagine, that there isn't a single break from it, not a moment, not just half an hour of your day where you could even just walk around the block and look at a tree or see a bird fly past. It's these really simple things that will get you through this. And we are very lucky to be on the ground floor at this apartment, so we have a small outdoor space. And I literally jump and squeal with excitement when I see a new flower opening, because it's the closest I can get to nature right now. So I am really at a high level of gratitude at this point of lockdown.
Do you think lockdown is having an effect? Are people taking notice?
They are adhering to the decree in the majority. However, there are a small amount of people, a small handful of people who are breaking the decree. And that actually increased over the last week, because we can see here in Italy that the curve is flattening. All that we're doing is starting to work. The cases and number of deaths are starting to decline, but they're, of course, still extremely high. It's going to be a long time before we're through this. So if people see that actually it's working a bit, some people take that as a sign, as a green light. Okay, let's go outside again. But this is the time when we're being told by the government, do not let your guard down. Do not let this slip. This is a crucial and critical time. And if we suddenly ease restrictions, then everything will have been for nothing, and we'll be back to the beginning. We can't give up now. We can't surrender now. That's the message.
I just think we're sort of backed into a corner, really, across the world, because until there's a vaccine, if restrictions are lifted, or, the governments in whatever country become more lenient, then there is, quite a big chance, I would have thought, that we will see cases of corona increase.
Yeah, to reverse, to go backwards. I think at the moment they're just waiting for the advice from the scientists, experts, virologists, about when we can live with it. The idea over here is not to wait till it's completely gone. It's to be able to live with it and to reduce its reproductive number. So that means how many people will get it if somebody has the virus. They realise that it's a very slow process. It's a long haul. We're about to enter phase 2 because we're in obviously phase 1, the most severe version of lockdown. After Easter, some businesses will start to reopen what the government deem as essential at this point, which is a really random smattering, such as children's clothing stores and bookstores. But we're still not, as residents, allowed to go outside for a walk. I think there will be, therefore, another round of complicated bureaucracy because we have extremely complicated paperwork here that's very detailed, even to go to the supermarket. So goodness knows what type of decree and paperwork they'll issue for someone saying they want to buy a new pair of shoes for their baby. It's already so complex. The police checks are everywhere.
We have these coronavirus updates from the government every day. How are you kept informed by your government about what's happening?
We have a nightly press conference, so we wait for the figures to be released in Italy at 6 p.m. every day. The entire nation waits and watches at 6 o'clock for that press conference with the Civil Protection Authority, where we hear about the cases of death, new cases, the amount of people recovered, and then also new decrees. There are separate press conferences from the Prime Minister as well. So there is a lot of information released daily, which has to be repeated and clarified because some people misinterpret it, of course, maybe to the way they want to misinterpret it, but then they soon realise they can't when they get fined. Our neighbours were fined €500 for stepping out of the apartment and kicking a ball around with their child. That's how severe it is.
Goodness me. And when this is all over, and obviously we don't know when that's going to be, what are you looking forward to the most?
Oh, what a lovely thought.
We have to keep going. That keeps us going.
Yeah, I do remind myself of that because the sort of the anticipation, that the joy that comes from looking forward to things is gone. But we do have to remind ourselves that it will pass and that we'll come through this. I'm looking forward to, well, number one, being able to go somewhere, anywhere outside the house, maybe to the seaside where I'm really happy, just to breathe in some fresh air, go up a hill, see friends and family again. Of course, my family's in England, so I've got a double whammy to wait. I've got to wait till we get through this and for the UK to get through this. But me and my fiance are supposed to be getting married in September. So the thought of us all being together on such a beautiful, happy day, it makes me really emotional. Just even being together, will be absolutely amazing. So physical contact of hugging people again, all those things we take for granted. Yeah, and we're in Italy as well, so there's a lot of beauty to be enjoyed here, which is quite frustrating in this gorgeous weather. So,
hopefully the wedding will still happen. You'll be able to breathe in the fresh air and you'll be able to hug your family. Just not yet.
Just not yet.
Not yet. Right. Lovely to talk to you, Callie. Take great care and thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon. Lovely to hear Callie's voice there. Callie Drinkwater used to work here at BBC Radio York about 6 or 7 years ago. Used to live in York, now has a very different life. She's a teacher in Bologna, getting married in September, missing her family dreadfully, like everybody is, and hoping that she will still get married in the late summer. It's BBC Radio York. Somebody else who's due to get married